Good evening and welcome to quarterfinal number 5 of hashtag Jeopardy Live Panel Tournament of Panelists. I am once again Andy Saunders. If you've missed the first 4, we've had quite excellent panels so far, and we have 5 more people looking to get through to the semifinals of our tournament. Our quarterfinalists tonight. First up, before I introduce the quarterfinalists, I will introduce the other half of the multinational bipartisan judging panel, the founder of the JeopardyFan.com, Jeannie Kendall.
Hi.
So welcome once again, Jeannie.
Thank you.
How was the rest of the state fair last week?
Oh, I got a piece of pizza, and I stayed for a concert, and I got a piece of pie, too, so.
Which concert? Well, who played?
Oh, no, it was just, like, local people playing guitars, basically, or keyboards. Okay. Nobody famous.
Oh, nobody famous, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now our 5 quarterfinalists tonight, some of them have video, some of them are audio only. We have, first up, 2003 Tournament of Champions winner Mark Dawson.
Hi, everyone.
Next up, we have the 2000 and, let's think about this, 2003 college tournament winner, also now famous for doing the Final Wager website, Keith Williams.
I don't know if famous is the right word, but infamous?
Infamous. I think he's been practicing getting his own liver ready for September 14th.
Yeah.
By the way, that's when the new tournament, that's when the new season starts. Audio only for the moment. Hopefully her webcam starts working. The person who gave us the idea for our tournament here, Jennifer Morrow, big Rush
How can you tell? How can you tell it's really me?
Sounds like you.
Yes, hold on. Oh, no, it wants me, my camera wants me to I'm trying to install an update on my webcam software. It might just boot me out for a second. We'll see if it works, though.
Okay.
There, we don't know.
It was working right before the panel. That's all I can say. I'm so sorry, guys.
Crossing my fingers. Also audio only at the moment. We have Desta Kimmel. And
hey, everybody.
Hey. Hello.
And finally, we have somebody who's probably been on the panel the third most number of times. We have from Winnipeg, Manitoba, David Kendall, J-Board moderator, J-Archivist, fan of a useless football team.
Oh.
Come on, I have to say, I saw a really good sign from someone in Winnipeg, you know, a picture of Owen Wilson, a picture of wrestler Owen Hart, and then the Saskatchewan Roughriders logo at Owen 9. And
yeah. We still have his name, though.
Yeah. We'll see how long that holds up. So the way this is going to work, as always, 6 questions. We're going to go in order: Mark, Keith, Jennifer, Desta, and David. You'll get points 0 through 10. Based on your answers as determined by our judging panel. Sorry, just making sure I get everyone's names onto my score sheet here. Very important. That way it'll make it easier for me to tabulate scores later. So, question number...
Quick question. Could you make me last? Because right now my entire computer is being taken over by an installation page. So...
Oh...
I'm really
That's not distracting at all. I think we should make Jennifer first.
No!
God forbid I should go first.
You're not welcome, you new computer overlord?
Oh my goodness, this was a bad decision. I'm sorry, guys. I swear I logged in before this was on, and then I could see it, and then I logged out, like, confident that everything was okay.
It's funny, this is the first time the webcam on my computer has worked in about 3 months for this. I've had to use my phone or a Windows computer, and it's actually working tonight, so I'm happy there. But I am going to be evil because the show must go on. I may skip over you and come back to you, Jennifer, but Mark will have the first response here.
Okay.
Your opening question: of all the people we've seen so far in the field, who would be your pick to win the next Tournament of Champions and why?
Oh my God.
No.
That's not fair. Because I can't remember anybody's names.
Oh. Yeah, we should have had like a
I need a picture thing because I know I'm rooting for because I played with her at Tacona a bunch and had a great time.
Who was
with
that?
her.
Who?
Now I gotta look and see because. Hang on, who?
Kristen, is that who you said?
The lady from Kentucky and Kristen and I played in some trivia stuff tonight at Tacona. We had a great time. So I'm pulling for Kristen in this one, and that's why.
Okay.
Because I really enjoyed hanging out with her in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Keith, who do you think is going to win?
That's a little unfair to ask me to pick someone.
Yes, I want you to pick someone. Take a side.
You're mean, Andy.
First of all, I hope Dan Feitel learns how to wager before he goes to the TOC.
Ooh.
He does know how to wager, just in his own unique way.
Yeah, but there's no other way.
Not the right way, apparently.
So I maybe because he's most recent, but I was really impressed with Scott Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he could really be a dark horse. You know, he's an older player, but he had a very good range of knowledge. And he and Brennan Bushy, as far as I can recall, are the only players who went 5 for 5 to start on Final Jeopardies. Maybe Gary did as well. And Brennan's actually 6 for 6. He just underwagered on that last one. And, you know, he could still be playing today had he more than 4,000 or whatever that amount was.
Huh.
So,
Jennifer,
just in the recency effect, I'll go with Scott for now.
Okay. Jennifer, are you still with us?
Okay, I think, yeah, I'm with you guys. I think, honestly, I mean, you know, it's hard for me to pick anybody because, I mean, I've talked to so many people and I've befriended so many people for heading to the TOC, but, I mean, I think that the one that everybody is going to have to watch out for is Alex Jacob.
Oh.
He's I mean, I was a little bit terrified by his comment on the J board that he said, am I the only one who didn't feel tired when I lost? You know, it was just kind of this casual, you know, oh yeah, I lost, but I'll be back and everything again. You know, I think he's the scary one in there. So, I mean, if I, let me put it this way, you know, I think nobody can go up against him casually and say, you know, oh, got this, I mean, he's scary. He's scary in a good way. I mean, you know, he's a great guy, but he's scary.
Not being able to get tired in that is a huge sign. That's one of Ken's big gifts was he never got tired of playing, or at least he never seemed to.
Mm-hmm. The stamina is a huge factor, and if he can keep that up during the TOC, then that might just be the factor that pushes him above, you know, everybody in the end, because that's so underrated.
Okay.
Desta, I think you're up next. Who do you like in the Tournament of Champions?
Well, I'm going to pick Brennan because he was the first day I was there was the match that he lost. So on the bus over, all I heard about was Brennan had won 5 straight games yesterday. And you wouldn't have ever guessed it. I mean, he was just calm and collected and just a really neat kid.
Okay.
Okay, how about you, David?
I'm definitely going to have to go with Alex as well for similar reasons that Jennifer did. Even before he won on, like, what was it, 8 or 9 games, something like that, and won all his money. I mean, I knew that he would do good in the game because I knew that he played poker for a living, or used to anyways, and those are really good skills to have in Jeopardy, too. Keeping your cards close to your chest, and just the cool demeanor that he had, knowing what to do, calm under pressure. He really showed his stuff there, and he won some amazing games, like the one against him and Scott Blish, I believe it was. I mean, now go down for the ages as a good game still, and I just think that definitely, for similar reasons, but Jennifer said, he's definitely one of the ones to watch.
Okay.
I think speaking of keeping cards close to the chest, we don't know a lot about his Final Jeopardy ability, because he just didn't put anything down in a couple games.
That's
Yeah,
actually
that is-
something worth considering.
Yeah. He doesn't want people to know his strengths and weaknesses and all that. He's a really good player, both in Jeopardy and in cards.
Yeah. I mean, he knows a lot. His knowledge base is enormous. So, and he seems to be able to do that thing where he can just like pull things out, after a little while. So I think that might serve him well in the end. I mean, the true greats tend to have that ability where they can kind of extract information that's, in the back of their heads. I mean, it's not just a matter of, can I answer this or I'm going to keep clam. So, I think he has good recall. I think that might serve him well in Final Jeopardy.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that keep clam in a long time.
Yeah.
Do you know where that came from, that keep clam?
Keep Clam was, I believe, a Kids Week contestant giving
Yes, it
advice
was.
to another one who said, no matter what, like keep clam. And I think the contestant meant to say keep calm, but somebody
Yeah.
pointed out that keep clam.
Exactly. Somebody
was-
pointed out that clam is actually
It's the best advice in the show.
Yeah. She was from like Morrow, somewhere in South Atlanta, and her dad had also been on the show as well. I met both of them at one of my Jeopardy parties here. And yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Ronnie who made the comment about how clams were appropriate.
Yes.
Ronnie over.
I love that.
Yeah, that was it.
I haven't heard that in 10 years, that keep clam. That's awesome.
Okay, so while we come up with the scores from the first question, you've got a time to think about number 2. We're going to start with Keith on this one. This question comes from Jonathan Graham on Twitter. What do you think is more important, Coriat score or Final Jeopardy get rate, and why? So while you're thinking about that, we're going to come up with that with the scores, and then we'll have the we'll have the scores from round number 1. Once again, the question: what do you think is more important, Coriat score or Final Jeopardy get rate, and why? So our scores on number 1. Okay, we have Mark picking up 8 points. Keith picks up 9. Jennifer 7. Desta 8. And David 6 on the opening question. So those are the scores so far.
Welcome to Jeopardy Live panel, where the show's made up and the points don't matter.
Ooh.
No, don't be offended, Andy. I screamed that on the Jeopardy set, too. Welcome to Jeopardy. Show's made up and points don't matter, and they didn't like that any better, either.
Well, it matters a bit more there.
Yeah.
I screamed that
Okay.
from the winner's podium, so you're in good company, at least.
Oh my goodness.
I heard him say, Drew Carey say that about, what was that improv show that they did with Drew Carey?
Who's lying?
Whose line is it anyway?
Yeah, whose line is it anyway? He said where the points are as important as Andrew Ridgely was to Wham or something like that.
Oh.
Who is blaspheming Andrew Ridgely? That's horrible.
Okay, so I'm going to go to Keith first. Once again, what do you think is more important, Coriat score or Final Jeopardy get rate, and why?
From a pure game perspective, I would say the Coriat score is far more important. Obviously, it's important to have a good Final Jeopardy get rate, but I think if you improve your knowledge base enough so that you get a higher Coriat score, the FJ get rate's going to follow. And plus, if you don't have a very good Coriat score to begin with, Final Jeopardy is not going to matter, period. You have to build up the base of knowledge, memorizing the things that come up the most frequently, improving that base level, and then you'll see also the FJ get rate go up as well.
Jennifer.
I think that, well, I mean, if you don't have a good Coriat, you're not even, it doesn't matter what you write down in Final Jeopardy because you wouldn't have, whoever has the highest Coriat of the game is going to be the one who is able to answer it. I mean, if you're playing from behind, then, I mean, look, I won a game from behind. I got the right answer, but it didn't matter because, the guy ahead of me got it wrong. So honestly, you just, well, I don't know. Actually, I'm totally disproving my own point. But you need to just be able to try to lock the other person out as much as possible. That really is the only, the best way to surviving in the game and to going for a while. I mean, but really you just want to be as far ahead as the other people as possible, because then, it's a higher probability rate in Final Jeopardy, because if, you get it right from ahead and the other person gets it right, you still win. If you get it right and they get it wrong, you win. If you both get it wrong, depending on the wagering strategy, if they're low enough, it varies then, but, there's your probability, I think, is just better the higher you are in the end. I don't know if that makes any sense. I think I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to work out my webcam issues. I'm sorry. I'm doing this and Googling webcam, not supporting.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Desta, what's your opinion on this?
I definitely think the Coriat's more important. Much like Jennifer said, if you're not in it at the end, it's not going to really matter. So I think when you have a higher Coriat, it allows you to be a little bit more strategic at the end.
David, what have you got?
Yeah, I've definitely got to go with the prevailing opinion here as well. If you've got really good Coriat, then Final Jeopardy doesn't matter because you're in a lock or a crush or something like that. If you got a bad Coriat, Final Jeopardy doesn't matter because the game's pretty much decided at that point. So I guess the advice for people who are studying Jeopardy is study the core Jeopardy topics more, and that'll help with your Coriat get rate and the regular clues, so that you don't have to worry about the really tough stuff in Final Jeopardy. But Final Jeopardy wagering, unless if you have like a really, really good Coriat and you have a lock, you might want to visit Keith's site.
And Mark, how about you?
Well, I think that there's different situations that make for different answers to this question. First is that you've given us an either/or, a high Coriat or skill at the Final Jeopardy. And the fact is that if you have a good Coriat but not an overwhelming Coriat, then the Final Jeopardy skill is much more important. If I go back to Ken, since I mentioned him once already, his ability to excel was in the regular games. His scores for his Final Jeopardy weren't that good. I think they were 65% or something of that nature, which is good for most humans. But among some of the top players, 65% is not really that great for Final Jeopardy. In fact, I would call that one of Ken's weaknesses as a player, and made him vulnerable in certain situations. In fact, had he gotten the Final Jeopardy, he would have won the Decades tournament, for instance. And also, I think it's important not just your overall ability to get questions, but can you get enough of them, and can you get enough of them at the bottom? For someone like me, who's not a particularly speedy buzzer, it was really important to get the $2,000 questions. So I'll hedge a little bit, and I'll say that I think that if you have an exceptional Coriat, that's more important. But for most mortals, I think that you really need to have a Final Jeopardy ability to be able to win in close games.
Okay. I actually excellent points out of all of you, to be honest. Will we come up with our scores for number 2? Number 3. Question number 3 is our caption competition.
Oh, I'm dreading this one. I've seen the other ones, and I'm like, I have no idea. Well, I'm scared.
So if I get if I get all of our panelists to click on the lovely video of me, so that you get to actually see the picture when it comes up. I'm working on the screen share right now. Okay, so here is your picture. So you guys have to caption and come up with a caption. We will start with Jennifer.
No!
But you've got some time. You've got some time still. And of course, I have some scores to announce first. But We do, in fact, yes. We have. I have some scores now on that one. Keith picked up 9 points. He goes up to 18. Jennifer 4 going to 11. Desta 5 to 13. David 6 for 12, and Mark another 8 to 16 points. So, time for you to caption this photograph. Jennifer, you are going first.
Oh, the heck with it. My Coriette's so bright, I gotta wear shades. I don't, whatever. Whatever, man, whatever.
Desta.
Bro, how did you not get that question?
David.
What are you talking about? 4,000 was definitely the best wager you could have made. You blew it.
Mark.
Oh my God! You didn't put it in the form of a question?
And Keith.
Dude, there's 3 clues left. One of them's a daily double, and you went for the $400 clue?
Okay, so that's...
Apparently it's a real nail biter, according to that one girl.
Can I just say, I understand that they're all watching something and astonished by it. What's the guy at the bottom looking at?
Himself.
Look at this. He's just staring at the camera.
He's probably looking at the Jumbotron.
Look at this. What's he looking at? I'm scared by this.
What part of this photograph is not scary, Jennifer?
Jennifer, it's American college football. I'm sure it's very scary.
It's a whiteout. It must be, or it could be a basketball game, maybe.
No, actually, it was the SMU Baylor game on Thursday.
Ah, okay.
I thought they were like English or I didn't know who they were.
But I definitely found that one online and decided I wanted to use that for some Jeopardy-related captions.
Good one.
Yeah.
Is it just, the guy at the bottom looks a little bit like Ryan Gosling?
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. Snap.
It's almost like maybe he was trying to be incognito and he got busted, and that's why he has that look.
There.
Well, I have some scores, so we might as well go ahead with those. I'll take the screen share down. There we go. Okay, we have me again. Awesome. So, scores on that one for her caption. Jennifer picks up 8 to go to 19. Desta 5 for 18. David 7 for 19. Mark 6 for 22. And I am sounding like a broken record with Keith's scores. He's got another 9.
Woo!
That brings him up to 27.
Hey!
Number 4.
You know you're going to intentionally rig it so my final score is 40.
Andy has that look like perhaps you have just solved the mystery.
Ah.
So, question number 4. Question number 4. You all have been through a Jeopardy audition. So I'd like you to think back to your respective auditions. Is there anything you feel you did in that audition that made you think, why did I say that, or why did I do that, and what was it? Desta goes first, and then David, Mark, Keith, and then Jennifer.
Okay.
Well, I mean, do I have to do my audition? I thought my audition went great. It was being on the actual show that I had about 1,000 of those thoughts.
Well, the idea was the audition, so yes, you have to go with the audition.
Gosh, maybe not. Except I didn't introduce myself in the audition because Glenn just started asking me questions, and so I never actually said my name and where I'm from. And when I got finished, I thought, wow, that was really stupid because you're supposed to do that, right?
Their memories are so good they remember everybody, even the people they haven't met yet.
Yeah, but it was very obvious.
Maggie,
the only one that didn't.
Who remembers people she hasn't met yet.
Okay, David.
Well, I guess my audition was probably the most recent of everybody here, but...
Not quite.
Oh, yes, that's true. Yours was the day after me.
But go ahead.
Okay,
Tell us about
everybody
what...
answering the questions. Thank you, Andy. And that will cost me points. I always try to replay the interview portion in my head afterwards because they didn't ask the questions that I was convinced that they would be asking me
that sucks.
based on the information that I had on there, and they threw me a few things that I didn't expect them to ask. I remember I put on there that I study national anthems, but they didn't ask about it. I kind of geared it towards that at the end when they just gave me the "tell me about yourself" for the interview instead of asking me something on the paper. And I kind of worked in national anthems at the end, and then they said, "Oh, well, what national anthem is the most interesting?" And I'm thinking, geez, I worked the conversation towards this, and now I don't have an answer.
That's rough. I feel sorry for you, David.
It's probably not as bad as I'm making it out to be right now, but everybody has those kind of moments.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's why Andy asked that question.
It's an odd question that you don't expect to hear, you know? Well, okay, but which of your anthems, I mean, who really has contemplated?
Well, I mean, I did have an answer for that. I don't think anybody else on the panel could really answer which one was the most interesting. So I did have an answer for that. I picked the first one that came to mind, which was the fact that Iraq has had 6 anthems over the past just 50 years.
Interesting.
But there's interesting stuff for each and every one of them that I know of, and I'm thinking, oh, geez, which one of the 400 what should I pick?
Oh no, you gave an interesting fact, and then was diplomatic about every other country in the world. Clearly, this was a bad decision. Fine. You're fine.
So, okay, Mark.
Well, I tried out 4 different times, and the first time was probably before some of the people in this room were born. Because I was still in college. It was in 1987. It was the first time I tried out.
Oh, we were all born.
Yeah.
Glenn and Suzanne and Glenn and Maggie were part of the crew back then. Okay, they were still part of it. And I tried out for 2 different shows that year that they were crew that they helped do. One was Classic Concentration, and one was Jeopardy. I was just out there. I tried out for Super Password, and I tried out for Scrabble. And so I passed the test for Jeopardy, and I passed the test for Concentration. I ended up getting on Concentration. So I had known Maggie and Glenn from back when Glenn was still wearing white pants. As a matter of fact, if somebody had said who was going to play him in the movie, like you had asked in a previous show, I would have said Andrew McCarthy for him back then.
Oh.
But for my show, I think it was in coming up with anecdotes, because I didn't understand at the time that an anecdote should be sort of its own little cell with a punchline. And it really came home to me, not in my interview, which I thought mine were poor for that, but I had some good ones by the time I was on show. But a woman in my first show had one that was a great start. Alex goes up to her and he says, "I understand that a monkey once stole your handbag," and which sounds like a great story. I want to hear about a monkey stealing her purse, right? And she says, "Oh, well, there's nothing to tell." On air. There's nothing to tell. From then on, I always thought that was
Am I visible?
help a brother out.
Yes, you are.
Okay, but it's
You're
echoing.
echoing.
Oh God!
Nice to see your
Use
face.
my
There.
iPod, but hold on. I'm moving. Hold on.
One sec.
Hold on. All right, better.
One sec. Yes, there we go. I
Okay, that
adjusted
was
your double from
scary.
the
I'm
call.
sorry.
So, okay,
I decided
back
to
to
use my
Mark.
iPod.
I want to hear more about this story that fell flat on its face.
Well, that was pretty much it. That's what happened. We're on air, and I did my bit, and then Alex went to her, and she said, "Well, there was not much to tell." and he kind of, in his Alex way, said, moved on to the next person. And, but that was when I really learned that, hey, we're not just here to tell a story and be our time on contestant. Alex is making a show here, so help a brother out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's probably why they work you so hard now and make you tell your story like really drawn out, so you're ready for something like that.
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
And Keith.
Well, I was 1 for 1 on auditions, so I guess there's not.
Oh, brag a little bit.
Sorry. One thing I will say is my initial test date was, I think, August 16, 2003, and that was the day after the blackout in New York City.
Oh.
So my test got postponed 3 weeks, and that happened to coincide with my college orientation because I was going the freshman year. And so as part of college orientation, which I had to miss part of, and now I have no friends from college.
Oh, we took Jeopardy over us.
We took a cruise on Lake Champlain, and the cruise ship actually ran aground. So we were stranded in the middle of Lake Champlain, and I had a Jeopardy audition that had already been postponed once the next day. And I think my dad was sitting waiting for me in Middlebury to come meet him so we could drive down toward New York. And that was a scary 3 hours while a tugboat came out and rescued us, and then ultimately we were fine.
Wow.
During the audition, so yeah, get there early. That would be my first advice. Second advice is, you all know how I dress now. I dress a little bit more sharply than I did when I was 18, but I came in wearing this really big white button-down shirt, and I think I had a really big sweater over it. It looked like I was, I don't know, I'd recently lost about 100 pounds or something. Wearing the same old clothes. So I would put a little bit more thought into how I appear, because they are filming the television show, and notwithstanding whatever Arthur Chu said about being on the show, you have to get to be on the show first. So maybe put a little thought into what you'll be comfortable wearing that will still make you look good.
Yeah.
I wish you told me that advice about being there early, because I remember for my audition, I got there 5 minutes before the audition time, and that's another thing that's been haunting me.
Oh.
I got there originally early, like the audition was for 9, and I left the place that we were staying at about 8, and we arrived there at 8:20. Keep in mind, I've never been to Kansas City before, so navigating everything, and there's construction right near the hotel too that we had to navigate our way around, that my GPS told me to go through, because of course it didn't know it was there. But we got there.
Everything's up to date in Kansas City, and it takes a while to make it that way.
But I got there at 8:20, and I get there and realized, oh, I don't have my wallet with me. I should probably get that. So we rushed back to where we were staying, and then back to the hotel. I get to the hotel at 8:50, rush up to the front desk. Where are they holding the Jeopardy auditions? And then rush back up to the second floor to get to the auditions.
So, we're still waiting to hear on Jennifer's story, actually. So
this is like bad things that happened during the audition that you wish you could have taken back?
Sure, yes, yeah.
Okay, because I think I know one, which is that, granted, I got in on my first and only audition, so whatever it wasn't that bad. But I remember at one point Maggie was trying to figure out where everybody should stand, and I raised my hand, and I said, Maggie, I have some duct tape in my purse. Should I just, put an X on the floor so that people, and she said, no, we're fine just telling people where to stand. And somebody went, wait, you have duct tape in your purse? And I said, yeah. And they're like, really? And I said, yeah, and a Swiss Army knife, like MacGyver. And the poor guy said, or like a serial killer. And then nobody knew him to stay. Like,
Maggie said that?
who are you? I was trying to MacGyver my way out of things. I don't know. Look, is it a weird thing? I don't know. Is this a multi-tool? It's like, the little, you can't even do anything with this. It's like the corkscrew is bigger than the knife on a Swiss Army knife, No.
So I would have to ask, where are you from? Because duct tape and a Swiss Army knife. If you had some WD-40, you'd have the trifecta, I think.
I think you're Canadian at heart, Jennifer. You're an honorary Canadian, because that's something. It's
Well, you know, we
definitely-
can't be handsome. You might as well be handy.
Yeah, the Red Green fan, I think. So we've got some points to divvy up here. Question number 5. Well, you guys have a chance to think about this one. We're going to start with Desta. So, Jeopardy is going to give you $10,000 win or lose to play Jeopardy once against 2 people who have been on the show already. You pick the opposition, win. You pick the opposition, yep, win or lose $10,000. You pick the 2 people you're playing against. Who do you pick and why? And the stipulation, each of you needs to pick 2 different people. So Desta has first pick here.
Oh.
And
This
so
is
the
awesome. I like
second,
this question.
third, fourth, fifth, you may have to have some extra names thinking about. But Desta, you go first. $10,000, win or lose, play Jeopardy once. You pick the opposition. Who do you pick? So think about that as I come up with some scores here. Okay, adding up. Here we go. Wait a sec. Sorry. No, David goes first. My bad. David goes first. Desta went first on the last question. Desta picked up 6 for 24. David 8 for 27. Mark 10 for 32.
I pointed my
Keith picks up 9. Surprise, surprise. For 36. Yeah. And Jennifer picks up 5 for 24. So David goes first. My bad on that one. $10,000 win or lose against 2 people who have been on the show already. You pick the opposition. Who do you pick, David?
Oh, well, pretty much, I mean, since I've been in the Jeopardy community for, goodness, like 6 or 7 years now, I've just known so many people in the Jeopardy community. Each and every one of them I'd like to meet and play against. I was originally going to say Andy and Jeannie to make it a Jeopardy live panel tournament, but then I realized that there was that thing of haven't been on, so maybe I'll do that after Andy gets on, and then they can offer us that.
This answer will be valid when somebody watches the video in a few months.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much anybody I can put in there, because everybody's like really nice, and I'd love to play Jeopardy against anybody that I've met in person or online.
So that's your answer. Okay.
Sure.
Play to win? Oh, he's
Mark.
nice.
Oh, me?
Yes, you're
Well,
next.
I was thinking that maybe you'd pick me later just because of the fact that there'll be some people that wouldn't get a chance. Listen, okay, when I played in the Decades tournament last year, whatever it was, when you go into the dressing room, you guys may have seen this. There are 2 checks, right? Right next to where you go in to get your makeup on, right? There's one for Ken and there's one for Brad, right? And honest to God, I really was hoping to win the tournament, not just to win the money, but to be able to have a check up there, because I think that if I won, I would have enough money to be able to have my name up there. And so I think a lot of people were playing in that tournament to play against Brad and Ken, and that would be a dream matchup for me, to be able to play against them like Roger got a chance to. Because once you do that, then you know you've arrived as a Jeopardy person. But that's not who I was really prepared to talk about here, because I thought somebody else would get that before me.
Oh.
I would like to. I would choose. I'll choose Michael Dupay, who barely lost to Brad in his first match.
Yeah.
And because Brad went to Emory right after I left Emory to go to Georgia State, and we had mutual friends, and we played on college bowl teams with mutual people, but I never got to play against Mike Dupay ever. And this was way back in the day. And so when Mike and I showed up on the same set, I was really hoping to play him in the tournament, because there would have been something celestial about playing against this guy, 20 some odd years later, and that would have been cool. So I'll pick Mike Dupay, and I'll pick Pam Mueller because we always seem to end up in the same place at the same time, and that would be fun to play against her because she's really good. So that's who I'm picking, Mike and Pam.
Okay. Keith.
You kind of just wiped out 4 names there,
I
Mark.
know.
You stole
As many
everything.
people as you can.
He's only wiped out 2.
Right, I cheated. I straight up cheated.
You did. That was pretty clever.
Gloves are off.
Strategy. It's all about the strategy.
Yeah.
Okay, Keith.
Who said I wasn't competitive?
There's no actual money on the line, and I wouldn't even say there's pride on the line. I would want to have the most fun I could. And I would pick Bob Harris.
Oh, that would be fun.
That's cool.
And I'd also pick Elliot Yates.
Oh, yeah.
Because we played trivia last week together, and he is a ton of fun to play with, especially when there are audio rounds. You start singing along with Gomez. So I feel like we might get through about 28 clues throughout the entire game, but we'd have a blast.
I like that.
Jennifer.
That's a celebrity match, huh?
Jennifer.
Well, originally I was going to say Ken and Brad just because I think that would be hilarious. I mean, it'd be, not because I think I have any fighting chance, but just because that way I wouldn't even go into it with hopes. I'd just have a good time, and I'd do my little things, and nobody would care because they just wipe the floor with me. But, seriously speaking, I think, honestly, if I had to pick 2 people to play again, I've gotten to know a lot of my competitors in the weeks since I played, and I think I would like to play against 2 of the people I've gotten to know best, Christiane Gadd and Julia Lawrence, because both of them are very strong. Those of them, I think, are pretty damn strong players, and I regret that they didn't get the same, chance that I had. I mean, I won twice. Some people step on that stage and do not win once. I want them to have their chance again, just like I'd like anybody who steps on that stage to do it, but it would mean a lot to me if I had some of my opponents have that shot again, because honestly, I do not necessarily think I would win, and honestly, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
And Desta.
Wow. So I would say the first person, and actually I might pay money to play this person, would be Tom Cubbage.
Yeah.
Tom is from my hometown, and I had the hugest crush on him back, in the 80s when he was playing in the college tournament. So Tom Cubbage is number 1. And then I have a friend from college who was one of Ken's victims, let's say.
Oh.
And we kind of lost touch, and then I found out much later that she had been one of the, many who fell to Ken. So Marcy Hicks is the other one.
Okay. I am actually quite impressed by the variety of answers on this question.
Yeah.
So, so that is question number 5. We're going to come up with some answers, and then finally, okay. So, and then finally, question number 6. We will start with Mark, then Keith, Jennifer, Desta, and David. The same one as question 6 has been the whole time. You get to summarize tonight's Jeopardy Live panel in 140 characters or fewer. This will then get tweeted out and be used in your voting tweet, which then gets retweeted and favorited for votes on the Twitter poll. So just coming up with some scores here.
So do we tweet the tweet? Wait, so we tweet it and then
you can tweet it out
and then
afterwards.
you will retweet it?
Yeah, you can tweet it out afterwards, but I'm going to have everyone vocalize the tweet.
Okay, so let me just write this thing.
Jennifer got her own tweet. She's tweeting out there, Twittering and all that.
Twittering. Well, I'm working on it.
Okay, so on this
140 characters.
previous question, David would pick up 5 for 32.
Jennifer, are you typing or are you playing the drumsticks?
I couldn't. typing. With the drumsticks.
So, once again, scores. David picks up 5 on the previous question for 32. Mark, 9 for 41. He gets 10 for 46.
Whoa!
Yeah.
So not a 9, and he's over 40. So much for that.
Once you're over 40, it's all done.
So much for that. Jennifer picks up 8 for 32, and Desta picks up 8 for 32. So Mark has first tweet. What have you got? 140 viewers summarize tonight's Jeopardy live panel.
This is going to sound like a platitude, but it's not. But it's why I'm enjoying this time with you guys tonight. Basically it would be too smart, too creative, too much fun. That's it.
Too smart, too creative, too much fun. Okay. Keith.
I'm going to go with Keith's liver is evil and must be punished.
I'll drink to that.
Jennifer, what have you got?
I wrote my hashtag Jeopardy live panel summary. Webcam broken. Jennifer confused. No chance. I would appreciate votes for ego factor. Hashtag tournament of panelists.
Desta, what have you got?
Oh gosh, you would do that to me, wouldn't you? You didn't even give me the musical like cutoff, so I could scribble something fast.
That's right. Dun, 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 dun.
Gosh, only loser on game, but winner with J family.
Oh,
Yay!
yay.
And David.
Talking Jeopardy was the great, having a blast. Tune in and you will too. Hashtag Jeopardy live panel, hashtag tournament of panelists.
Yay!
Okay, so as we come up with our final scores for that tweet, for the tweets, just a reminder that the next panel is coming up at 10 p.m. Eastern. And we have a we currently have 7 scheduled. The panel, it consists of Brandon Saunders, Russ Schumacher, Steve Bonneman, Megan Barnes. So we have a 500 questions rematch on the panel at 10 o'clock.
I like no somebody.
We have Troyan Mandrakar, let's see, Jennifer Blanton, and John Schultz. That's all at 10 o'clock. So remember the okay. So once again, I'll actually reveal these in order of where everyone was going in. I'm going to start with David, who had 32. His tweet picks up 5 from the judges for a total of 37 on the debate portion. Desta had 32. Her tweet picks up 5 for a total of 37. Jennifer had 32 as well. Her tweet picks up 7 for 39. Mark had 41. His tweet picks up 7 for 48. And Keith at 46. His tweet picks up 5. He finishes tonight's debate portion at 52 points. That, just a reminder that 20 points are still available on the voting portion, so there is still an opportunity to get a high score, get some wild card positions. Remember, 10 points to the winner on Twitter and Google, with with runner-up points being awarded proportionally in relation to the number of votes picked up. So everyone should try to get their respective fan bases out to vote. For everyone here,
it's really tough to impress.
My cat doesn't have a Twitter account.
Even if my cat did have a Twitter account, he wouldn't vote.
Now it's sad.
So,
cat.
Why my cat is sad. My owner only picked up 37 points on the Jeopardy Live panel today. But, yeah, for everyone here at thejeopardyfan.com, we will be back in about 2 hours and 5 minutes with quarterfinal number 6 of the Tournament of Panelists. I'd like to thank Jeannie, as well as all of our guests, for taking part tonight. Thank you for tuning in. And let me click the stop broadcast. See you hopefully in a couple of hours.